Good morning, everyone, and Happy New Year! I'm Lucy Scorziello from Stanford High School's award-winning online newspaper, The Roundtable. I'm your host of this portion of your morning news on WGCH for the second Thursday of every single month. If I could just have a couple minutes of your time and let you know what's going on in Stanford High School this month. As we move on into the new year, there are several big things ahead of us, especially for high school seniors. We have to make highly important decisions on colleges and majors and all of that kind of stuff. And most of this process can be very scary and new for both students and their parents. So I sat down with former Stanford High School student Sophia Scorziello to not only spotlight her academic achievements after graduation, but to also gain some insight on the college decision process. Hi Sophia, thank you for sitting down with me today.
Hi Lucy, thank you for having me.
Okay, so what's your academic background at Stanford High School and in higher ed?
Okay, so I graduated from Stanford High in 2019. And I did my first year of college at UConn, and then I transferred to Loyola Marymount in Los Angeles, and that's currently where I attend school. Right now I study journalism, and I minor in film, television, and media studies.
So what did you look for when you were selecting colleges, and what made you transfer and stuff like that?
Well, to start, I always knew that I wanted to do journalism. So I looked for schools that had good journalism programs, but also had strong media programs. So for me, I wanted to explore fields that had to do with documentaries and the multimedia world of journalism. So both of those were really important to me. I chose UConn because, I really wasn't sure where I wanted to go. So I kind of started off there, got a lot of my gen eds accomplished, and then I looked for some schools that were a little bit further from home. One thing about LMU is they have a really great film program, so I'm able to incorporate both my journalism academics and learn a little bit more about the multimedia side of things so that I can incorporate both of those into my career going forward.
What do you suggest for any high school seniors that don't really have a plan in mind or don't have a prospective career?
Well, first of all, I want to say that is totally 100% okay to have in mind at 17 years old what you want to do for the rest of your life is not really feasible for a lot of people, and that's totally fine. So I think if you're undecided, I would definitely say, look to a school that has a broad range of majors. You don't want to sort of pigeonhole yourself into a school that specializes in only a few majors. So that, if you change your mind, there's always another path that you can take at your current school. And then at the same time, a lot of people say it, but I really think that, doing a year or two at either a community college or a state college, just to get your gen eds done is really helpful because you can save a little bit of money, and then you can move on to, a school that has more specialized majors or hones in on a certain craft of yours that you have, found over those first 2 years of colleges.
And is there any other advice that you would give high school seniors who are currently making decisions about college right now?
For anyone who's applying to colleges right now, I would definitely say take a really good look at all of your options and take into consideration the type of environment and student body that you want to be surrounded by, because that's really important aside from just the academics that the school provides. But to me, what's most important is making sure that your college decision is based on you and what you really want and your own goals, and really make sure that you are at the center of any decision that you make when it comes to college.
Thanks for sitting down with me today, Sophia.
Thanks for having me.
That was very insightful, and I hope you guys got some good advice about that. Now, moving into something a bit strange, Roundtable editor, senior Lucy Santora, wrote a very interesting story in the beginning of the month, so I sat down with her to chat and hear more about it. So kind of just describe how this story came to be and how it kind of fell into your lap.
So basically, I think it was late September that the Roundtable Ringle got a letter in the mail with a newspaper article attached describing this man called Hate Man. And it was just saying, this is Hate Man's sister. If you could dive into his life a little bit and his origins in Stanford, I think this could be a very good, good story for your publication.
And what made you decide to research more into it? What made you pick this story?
The message in the mail was just very, it was almost like a movie. It was very like...
A nice setup.
Yes. Yeah. And so I think that just inquired me, and I was just like, you know what? Let's look into this.
Kind of just give like a quick intro on what is your hate man story about?
His name is Mark Hawthorne, and so basically he grew up in Stanford. He was a prospective journalist. His father was a journalist. He became a writer at the New York Times, and slowly he began to feel that this ordinary way of life wasn't really meant for him. So from there he moved to California. He started in San Francisco. So being on the street corner, he can touch many people's lives and share his philosophies. He wanted everyone to love each other and respect each other. But he used the alias Hate Man because it attracted people.
And lastly, where can people find this story? Where can people read your article that you wrote?
They can find it at shsroundtable.com.
And thank you so much for sitting down with me today, Lucy.
Thank you, Lucy.
I highly, highly encourage you guys to go and check out her story. It's incredible and very exciting. Before I let you go, I'm back with my monthly segment I like to call Hidden Gems. This month, I'd like to highlight an artist actually from Stanford, Lucy Scorziello, formerly known as myself. In late December, I released my sophomore EP called Sunrise on Mars. The collection of songs embodies the dreamy haze of love and is an ode to my early teen years. I've been singing since I was 10, and I've been making music since 13. Here's my personal favorite, San Francisco. To hear more, check out Lucy Sco wherever you stream music. And that concludes this monthly segment of Hidden Gems. And that's all I've got time for today, guys. I've got a question for you, though. How do you plan to stick to your New Year's resolution? But that's just something to think about. Until next time, I'm Lucy Scorziello from Stanford High School's Roundtable. Check us out at shsroundtable.com. That's shsroundtable.com. And remember to always keep a smile on your face. Thank you, and I'll talk to you next month.